It's another Saturday at Derek's.
Welcome to Derek's. I'm Mike.
And I am Derek.
And you are here.
We are there, here. We are all together.
So anyway, this week I thought we could continue the discussion that we were having a couple of weeks ago about just the convenient way of the Star Wars storytelling.
Well, George Lucas has always stated that he has known from the beginning how Star Wars was going to be.
Yeah.
He knew that they were twins, and he knew that Vader was the father. And I would just like to take this opportunity to cry bullshit.
All right, I was going to say horse shit, but I think we're along the same lines. You could see right through that just because of the plot inconsistencies from the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy.
No.
You know, when I first met your father, he was already a great starfighter pilot. He was a little fucking kid who had never been in a starfighter pilot seat in his life until the end of the movie in that really ridiculous sequence where he blew up the entire fucking Galactic Trade Federation craft by himself.
Well, there was a lot of stuff where he was referring to the original draft of the script, and there's just a lot of stuff that carried over from that he ended up not using to carry over, and a lot of it was forced in later on to. I think one of the things that was going to happen is he did have the middle part. He was going to do the first part, and then he was going to do the last part, and he was going to do them pretty close together. I think the plan was to do them pretty close together, but somewhere around between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, he was like, well, I don't know if I want to do 7, 8, and 9. So then they were like, well, okay, well, this love triangle we had set up between Luke and Leia, we have to kind of get away from now, because, you know, they needed that kind of tension. That kind of tension was going to carry on probably for another 3 episodes, and then, you know, she was going to eventually choose either Han or Luke, and then, you know, they would go on and live happily ever after. But, you know, there would be that tension between Luke and Han.
Yeah.
Because, you know, Leia can't decide which one she loves more.
They're best friends, but they both got a crush on the same girl.
Well, we decide, okay, well, we're not going to have those stories now.
It's so high school.
So how do we fix this? Well, in order for there to not be hard feelings between the two of them...
Wait, I got it. Incest.
Yes. Let's have them be
it's
brother
perfect.
and sister. You know, and I know somehow I've always known, but yet I've been sticking my tongue in your mouth for the last 2 movies. You know, it's just silly things like that.
So, you know, at the end of the day, Leia's kind of a kinky girl. She's into some freaky shit.
Hey, I'm cool with that, you know, it's just, you know, as long as there's no commitment. A little bit of strange is cool. But
that's your sister, dude. It's pretty fucking strange. Just saying. But anyway, there's too much convenient shit going on in all the Star Wars movies up until this point. Of course, I can't speak in any way towards what J.J. Abrams is gonna have next December.
The final mysteries.
But as far as the 6 movies that we've already got, shit is way too convenient. I mean, the droids were built by Darth Vader when he was a little kid, really? Or the droids were there. Like 3PO was built by the little kid. But it's too... Fuck you. That just... No. None of this shit should be able to dovetail so perfectly together. I'll admit to there being weird coincidences in life, but to have it happen that much that often.
Yeah, to have the droids come to the child of the person that built them, even though there's this entire galaxy that could keep them apart.
Well, the droids, okay, so the droids come from the prequel movies, and somehow end up falling into the hands of the daughter of the guy that built the one and was heavily involved in the existence of the other. And she uses those particular droids to send a message to Kenobi, but they fall into the hands of her brother, the other child of the guy that built the droid, and then happen to go to Ben Kenobi, and then conveniently the one thing that was tethering Luke to that planet happens to get killed and burned up in a spectacular manner, and blah-de, 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 blah. I mean, it's not just the brother-sister thing that's really convenient. It's how everything is just so coincidentally linked together through all of these fucking movies. And did you ever notice that the Rebel Alliance never won a goddamn thing through skill?
Wait!
Sorry.
I have arguments!
Yes, go.
I can buy into the fact that the droids did go to Alderaan with Leia, because Obi-Wan did take custody of the children and custody of the droids. So putting the droids with Leia on Alderaan makes sense.
All right,
having the droids with her and her using the droids then to go to Obi-Wan Kenobi makes sense because he might find them familiar.
Maybe, but then the Jawas just happened to get them and just happened to sell them to Owen, and they just happened to run off looking for.
And then having Obi-Wan watching over Luke makes sense because.
Okay, no, Obi-Wan watching over Luke does make sense.
And it puts them in the vicinity. Now, it is a little bit stretching that they would happen to fall into Luke's hands instead.
Yes.
It wouldn't have been as stretching to possibly have.
And that they killed Owen and Baru.
Get them and then go and grab Luke.
All right, but and that the stormtroopers kill Owen and Baru. The only people that the stormtroopers kill on that planet just happens to be Luke's adoptive parents. Just coincidentally. Mm-hmm. The only people that got killed, because they searched for those droids all over the place. They're asking people. There was a these are not the droids you're looking for. But nobody else ever got killed over it. Why?
Except for the Jawas.
Why would the Jawas, but why would they kill those people? I mean, the Jawas, weird. Possibly, like, heavily resisting. I don't know. I can't say to what happened with the Jawas. Because they're weird little creatures, and there may have been a misunderstanding. That's very possible. I mean, they could have been looking for the droids, and the Jawas thought they were being attacked.
Well, there's two reasons to kill Jawas. Shits and giggles.
And they're Jawas. But Owen and Baru, why would they kill these two middle-aged, almost grandparenty aged people? Because really, they'd have showed up and gone, we're looking for these droids. And then Owen, being a guy who seemed like a very straight shooter, almost too honest for his own good, would have either A, lied, which I doubt, or B, gone, yeah, we bought them from these fucking Jawas.
Yeah.
And
Luke took them into Tashi Station to get their memories wiped.
Right. So why weren't they heading...
going straight to...
why didn't they just go, all right... Yeah, but why didn't they just go, oh, all right, cool, we'll just head to Anchorhead, thank you for your cooperation, and bomb the fuck out and go to Anchorhead and look around for them there. Instead, they're like, oh, thanks for the information. Now we're going to burn your fucking farm to the ground and murder you.
Stormtroopers are assholes?
Didn't make sense. Yeah, but they weren't assholes to anybody else. I mean, they were forcing their way around. They were being, very strong army about looking for the droids, but they never did any physical damage to anybody.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I suppose just to move the story along.
I guess, but again, way too convenient. Okay, now, on to the other thing I was talking about. The Rebel Alliance never won anything with any degree of skill. No accomplishment they ever made. Blowing up the first Death Star, luck/the Force. They were outmanned, outgunned, and their plan didn't really require a tactical genius to come up with.
Yeah, it was fly in, fly fast, blow it up.
Yeah.
And We just need one more thing. Han Solo, could you be a badass? No, sorry guys, I'm out.
And then show up at last second and boom, boom, boom. Hey, let's blow this thing and get out of here. Now, was there a single thing that the Rebel Alliance actually accomplished through skill or any kind of real military acumen?
The escape from Hoth, maybe? I mean, they had to, like, take off at the same time they were firing the ion cannon, and they had to aim the ion cannon, and they had to hold off the AT-ATs long enough, and they had to figure out how to knock the AT-ATs down. I suppose that could be attributed to skill and military planning.
Yeah, that was more of a seat of the pants, and of course, main character Luke came up with it.
Yeah. It wasn't as seat of the pants as Return of the Jedi, though, when they had to go up against the second Death Star, and it ended up being a trap.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to really improvise. But from my understanding, that's what battle plans kind of are like. You go, okay, this is what we're going to do. And then the other enemy goes, no, you're not going to do that. And then you go, okay, well, then this is what we're going to do. You go over there, you go over there. And, everything kind of gets all kind of clusterfucky.
All right. But they get caught in this trap. Everybody down on the sanctuary moon gets captured, but somehow they're saved by teddy bears.
Cannibalistic teddy bears. Well, maybe not cannibalistic. That's not the right word. Carnivorous teddy bears.
Carnivorous teddy bears. All right, they definitely intended to eat some motherfuckers.
Yeah.
But there was. I don't know. I don't buy it.
Yeah.
I really don't. And don't get me wrong. I love Star Wars. I love the original trilogy. The prequels not quite so much, but it's very cool stuff, and I'm really, really, really looking forward to what J.J. Abrams does next December.
Giddy.
Yeah, I'm planning on it being amazing. Fuck the guys that have a problem with the lightsaber with the hilt, because
it looks badass.
It's cool, and they're assholes, and they can just suck my left nut. Fuck them. But no, it seems like it really feels like the Rebel Alliance just kind of stumbled their way into victory. A lot.
Yeah. Well, it's. Yeah, I mean, it's.
Yeah. Well, happy accident. I'll take it. You
Yeah.
know.
Well, you take what you can get. When you got an entire galaxy of guys who want to kill you, you take what you can get.
Luke didn't defeat the Emperor. His dad did.
Yeah. Well, Luke had to.
And he got lucky that Anakin had a change of heart.
Yeah.
Because really, Anakin could have just offed Luke, and they could have gone on, as planned. Yeah, the Empire would have just gone on without a hitch. They could have crushed the rebellion right there in its entirety.
Well, I think the point of the storyline is that eventually one of them would have killed off the other one. That much corruption by power is inevitably going to create a rift between the two people in power.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually, I mean, in the expanded universe, there's always signs of, and even in the original trilogy, there was signs of Darth Vader really wants to kill the Emperor so he can take over.
Right.
That's why that's why he needed Luke, was for Luke to come over to the dark side and be like, Emperor, we ain't gonna take your shit.
Yeah, be his apprentice, and they can overthrow the Emperor. Right, and I understood that thing, but then at the end of it, he seemed to do it for altruistic reasons.
Yeah, well, because he was gonna lose his son. And in the end...
Yeah, but how much of a shit did he really give up until that point?
He gave a fair amount of shit.
Up until...
Enough to only cut off his hand.
Up until Bespin, when, he came to the realization that his kids were still alive. How much did he really give that much of a fuck? Because if the prequel movies are to be believed, he flipped over to the dark side pretty goddamn quick and without really thinking about it. It was very much, you want me to kill a bunch of children? Cool, not a problem. I'll catch you in 20.
Yeah. And then I'll go to the other planet and kill all your buddies too for you, just to kind of tie things up a little bit.
Yeah.
And then when Obi-Wan gets here, I'll kill him too. Yeah, it'll be cool.
No problem. Massive assassination of everybody that's been important in my life up until this point. I am alright with that.
Yeah.
Don't sweat it.
Yeah, I don't think it was explained very well why. I mean, the reason why he supposedly did it is to protect the people that were most important to him. In this case, Padme and the twins. I think a lot of it just wasn't very well explained because
No, not at all.
the movies weren't written as well as they could have been. He had the storyline there. I think he needed somebody to come along and kind of help direct him.
Better script writer.
Yeah.
Probably should have hired Joss Whedon.
Yeah. Well, sometimes it helps to have a studio above you. Saying, this isn't a good idea, or this is a good idea, or maybe you should focus more on this. It helps to have that second pair of eyes to say, it's why, it's one of the reasons why Return of the Jedi and Empire Strikes Back work out so well, is because you had other script writers and other directors there to kind of go, let's do this, and this line works better here, and this line works better there, and they could collaborate a little bit. Whereas with the prequel trilogy, he didn't really have anybody to collaborate with. It was mostly, this is what I want, and this is how I'm going to do it. And I think that ended up kind of hurting the films.
Yeah. Oh no, it did. Yeah, definitely. We could do an entire hour-long show just talking about everything that was wrong with those prequel movies.
Oh, if we could do an hour long, it might be too short. You need about an hour per film.
Yeah, probably.
Because
we need to start off with midichlorians 8 o'clock day one.
Midichlorians, 10-year-old Anakin falling in love with 14-year-old Padme.
Draping the entire movie around that stupid fucking pod race. Yeah, the bad, goofy characters, and Jar Jar, Sebulba. There's just a list of shit that was really horrible about that movie.
Yeah.
I was so incredibly embarrassed at having been excited about seeing that.
I'm embarrassed about being excited about it the first 10 times I saw it. And it taken that long for me to kind of go, yeah, they're not as good as...
Yeah. No,
not as good as my starry eyes.
I caught it the first time out because I distinctly remember, like a week after I saw the movie, my mom going, "So you saw the new Star Wars movie?" Yeah. Well, how was it? Did you like it? Was it really good? It's part of a larger story.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much all I had to say about it.
Yeah.
And that still didn't come to fruition.
I mean, there's a lot of eye candy for kids, and a lot of poo-poo jokes for kids, and there's a lot of stuff for kids. And I understand that they were made to be movies for kids. But he should have realized that
his audience had grown up since the 70s.
Those kids, you have an already grown-up audience who loves it, and eventually those kids are gonna grow up, and you're gonna want them to be able to maintain a sense of depth to the story.
Well, not only that, but it's not as though it's impossible to make a movie that appeals to both adults and children. I mean, I can hand you a whole pile of stuff that's supposed to be for kids, but there's a lot of work written into that for adults too.
Yeah.
So it's not like you have to gear in one direction or the other. It's absolutely possible to do it so it appeals to both groups, and everybody could walk away from it happy.
Yeah. Yeah. They could have definitely been done better, and it was definitely the first 1.5 for sure were a huge disappointment. The Clone Wars started to turn around quite a bit, and I thought Revenge of the Sith felt like Star Wars.
Yeah, Revenge of the Sith
clunky.
was okay. It was clunky. There were things I really, really, really hate the Frankenstein scene.
Mm-hmm.
That bugged me really bad while I was in the theater. I didn't even have to take some time to think about that. I watched him doing that, and I went, "Oh, really? Did you have to do that bullshit, man?" No.
Yeah, and I understand him giving homages to films that he loved when he was a child. But yeah, I mean, you don't have to force stuff like that.
Yeah, and it really felt forced. It felt wedged in. I mean, you could have gotten the same thing across in a more dramatic manner,
Mm-hmm.
and made it feel natural. And that did not feel natural. That really just felt like it was just being forced down your throat.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Another 11 months.
Yeah, again, hopes are up. I don't believe people have been so weirded out by the idea of a black stormtrooper.
Yeah. I don't know what weirds people out. I don't know why people get as weirded out about stuff as they do on the internet. It's like, I suppose the problem is that the internet allows a demographic of people to kind of congeal together
Yeah,
and create a louder voice than is really necessary.
the vocal minority.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, the people have to realize that the clones have become extinct over the last 40, 50 years.
Well,
60 years.
sure, because there was the one run of clones, and everything else since then has probably been conscriptions.
Mm-hmm.
The
Well,
clones have been slowly cycling out. I mean, between getting shot by the Rebel Alliance and just growing old like normal human beings do.
well, and you have to realize that they grew old at a faster rate. They were hatched, raised, and they grew to adulthood in a matter of 4 or 5 years, and probably continue to have that accelerated aging up to a point where they probably died in a good 20,
Yeah.
25 years. Was probably their life cycle. They weren't built to be around forever. They were built to be cannon fodder.
Yeah.
You know. So it's not like you're gonna continue to have. I mean, you could, I suppose, continue to have clones, but it's after a while it's cheaper just to get people that throw at, you know, to throw at
Yeah.
dropping bombs.
Yeah. Well, no, and it's probably easier to just send press gangs down to planets and, scoop up swaths of conscripts and just make them, between people volunteering for the military and conscription raids on planets, and really the Empire, there was probably some kind of a military service requirement for
Mhm.
certain things like actual citizenship.
Well, I don't think they actually had colleges. I think they had academies, and the academies were military based.
Yeah.
You
Well,
know,
yeah,
that's
that
what
would make sense, too.
Luke was going to go off to the academy,
Oh, right.
and it was
right.
to be a starfighter pilot. It wasn't to be a doctor or I don't think there
A
are
geologist or
I don't think their
yeah.
academies were set up to be for general citizenship. They were set up to be military type jobs.
Yeah, but there's got to be some kind of system for educating people for science and engineering and
Well, yeah, but you want it to be for the wealthy elitists.
yeah.
Because that's how those type of governments run. You have your wealthy elitists who become all of your intelligent people. You don't want to educate people who are your little puds. You
Yeah.
want them to be as dumb as possible because that way it's easier for them to buy into your bullshit.
Mhm.
And less likely that they're going to stand up and go, "Hey, no, we don't have to deal with this shit."
Yeah.
And that's
So if you become a speeder mechanic, it's because you fiddled around with speeders, or you got friendly with somebody who was a speeder mechanic and basically apprenticed to
Mhm.
him. Something like, okay, yeah, and that would make sense. But I guess being more of a serial movie based thing. They've never really gone into depth on the more social aspects
Right.
of the Star Wars galaxy. So
You
who
just have to
knows?
look at what our experience is with those type of governments.
Yeah,
The fascist or militant regimes.
yeah.
And generally speaking, they don't really have a whole lot of college going people. When they do have college going people, it's usually the wealthy friends of the people who are in charge. So,
Or people going into the military and trying to elevate themselves socially in that manner.
Mhm.
you know, ambitions to become an officer or work your way up through the ranks. So you're at least in like a respectable middle ground area,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah. And believe it or not, there are black people in the Star Wars universe. I mean, Lando Calrissian.
2 of them.
Yeah. 3. There's the guy in Jabba's palace. There's the other black guy in Cloud City, and Lando Calrissian, the one carrying the coffee maker.
So 4 then, because we're still talking about the stormtrooper from the.
Well, yeah. Now there's going to be more. I mean, it's more common to see black actors these days. So.
Yeah, but 4 whole people. It's
Yeah.
a very progressive galaxy far, far away.
I put in extra lines because I forgot I was just supposed to.
Right on. Okay, well, we'll just start over again then.
Okay.
No problem. What did you think about that, though?
Yeah, I started to laugh. I had to work at it because you're talking about menstrual blood, and that's some funny shit.
Okay. You ready?
Yep.
Okay. My name is Bill Kirkman. I'm an American tourist from Nichols, Ohio. I'm just an accountant. I don't even know why I'm here. The guys at the office said that Baghdad was really nice to vacation, and now I
Infidels!
what?
Hammer.
You want me to read this? Okay. All right. American women, devil whores of the great Satan, do you have heavy flow during God's monthly punishment for your filthy devil parts? Wait, is this ad copy? Okay, all right. I'll finish it. We're okay. American devil women, devil whores of the great Satan, do you have heavy flow during God's monthly punishment for your filthy devil parts? If so, then the prophet wants you to use Bahir and Jafar brand tampons. With Bahir and Jafar, you will still be able to participate in your normal daily activities like tennis, serving your man, serving Allah, horseback riding, placing roadside bombs, frolicking on the beach, and sacrificing yourself for Allah. Remember, without Bahir and Jafar brand tampons, the streets will flow with the menstrual blood of the non-believers. Execute. Execute.